friends, I'm Melissa, certified health coach, mother to a beautiful little baby girl, and co-founder of TastyMix.com. And hello, thank you so much for inviting me on your journey towards a happier and healthier you. I am in Vegas right now visiting my grandparents, which is always a treat for me. And my daughter gets to see her great-grandparents, and it's a win-win happy situation all around. The roses are in bloom, and figured it'd be a lovely backdrop for today's video. Today, I'm actually going to talk to you about a book that I read called The Blue Zones: 9 Secrets to Living Longer by Dan Buettner. And it was an amazing book. You read about not one, not two, but a ton of people who live to be 100 plus and where they are in the world. So the Blue Zones is a term coined by Dan and his team from National Geographic that basically describes areas in which there are more than a handful of people who live to be 100 plus, always have people 100 plus years old. These Blue Zones are, one is in Sardinia, Italy, the other one's Okinawa, Japan, the other one's Yorba Linda, California, which is where I was born and raised until I was 4, so near and dear to my heart. Another one is Icara, Greece, and then we have Nicoya, Costa Rica. So these are blue zones where, again, you're seeing a bunch of people 100 years plus. Amazing. I mean, these people are living to be 100 years and are still going and probably moving more than we are and going strong, happy, witty. So one thing I found is that all of them have things in common. It's not all over the place as to why they're living to be so old and why they're having such a prosperous life, and they die in their sleep. They don't have 5+ years of morbidity, which is just pretty much years that suck at the end of our life. So one thing is that they have a life purpose. They wake up in the morning and they know what they're gonna do. There's a reason they get out of bed. I mean, really, when you're 90 plus, like, finding a reason to get out of bed probably isn't that easy. But they either care for their families or go to the market or tend to their garden. They all have a reason, a purpose in living. I feel like a lot of young people have a hard time getting out of bed because they don't have a reason. They can't find a purpose in living. So that's one thing they all have. Another thing is they all have primarily a plant-based diet. Doesn't come as a surprise to me, but they do eat some meat here and there, mainly like one piece of fish or some pork on the weekends. They also will eat meat for celebrations or holidays like Christmas, etc. So that's when they tend to eat meat. Other than that, they're eating primarily from their garden, and also like to include goat's milk. And goat's milk actually has a lot of properties that fight against a lot of the anti-inflammatory properties that fight against diseases that come with aging, such as Alzheimer's and heart disease. So if you want to keep dairy in your diet, goat's milk could be a way to go. So I mentioned gardening. They all garden, and it makes sense to me. I need to start gardening. Basically, if you're good to your garden's good to you. So in Okinawa, they're making their own medicine. They're growing turmeric, they're growing ginger, which is more anti-inflammatory than Tylenol. I mean, it's amazing. In Greece, they're living off their land. They're eating these beautiful ripe tomatoes, and the vegetables that they're producing from their gardens really giving them life-sustaining nutrients, micronutrients, etc. So that's a good one. They move. They're all moving. They're not sitting on their butts watching TV. No, they get up. In Sardinia, they are primarily shepherds, the group of men primarily that live to be over 100 there, because they walk like 5+ miles a day. They're still walking and moving, even at the age of 90+, 100+. That's what they do. They get up and they go. So movement's a good one. They don't overeat, which is what I've read quite a bit about. A lot of it is, it's not entirely what you eat, but also what you don't eat, which helps longevity. And here it's been proven time and time again by all these people in these different areas. They in Japan, in Okinawa, they always say this prayer before they eat, which is Hara Hachibu. which literally means eat until your stomach is 80% full. I find that to be amazing. I need to work on this because I love to be full, but apparently those who eat light dinners, keep it light, live a little bit longer. Another one is they have a positive outlook on life. You're not gonna live to be 100 plus thinking life sucks. Not gonna happen. So they all wake up, they laugh, they make fun of themselves, they're light. I mean, life is to be enjoyed, and all of these people in these areas really enjoy life. And on another note, in terms of enjoying life, they make time for friends and family. That's so important to them. Most of them live with their family, which I know a lot of us don't do now. But it is very common for these people in these areas to live with their family. In Yorba Linda, California, though they are American in a very traditional American sense, the group of people who live to be 100 plus are actually Seventh-day Adventists. They have a plant-based diet, and another thing in terms of making time for friends and family, they also make time for God. And they have a belief, they have something to hold on to. And they meet with people 4+ times a month, so they're always connected with their group. And they have, again, this very spiritual connection, which is another thing everyone has in common who live to be 100 plus. They all belong to a church or a group, and they have a sense of spiritual belonging there as well. So that's that in terms of what the blue zones are, who these people are. Next week I want to talk to you about how you can create your own blue zone no matter where you are. Yes, most of these places are also warm climate, but hey, you can create your own blue zone even in Boston, my friends who are in Boston, and anywhere else in the world. So subscribe to my channel. I'd like to know what it is that you do already that all these 100-year-old plus people are doing. And I'll talk to you next week. Until then, be well. Bye.